Hi besties, what's up? My name is Makenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to the start of like my July vlogs. Alright, sorry, I hope that's better. I just cleaned off my lens. I am in my in-laws trailer right now. They were so gracious enough to let me and my husband borrow it. So I wanted to start this vlog to tell you guys what I've been reading. I'm sorry, my cousins keep driving by on motorcycles, so if you can hear that, that's what that is. But first, I wanted to talk about the book I started when I first got here. Hoping to finish all 3 books in this vlog, so if I don't finish it like this weekend while I'm here, because I'm here for 2 more days, then I will be just continuing on with this vlog, I guess. So first, sorry, I'm trying to find the cover. First, I'm reading Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying, saying her name, but I do. So far, what I've gathered from this book is it is about Hella, and I can remember her name because I always look at it and think it says Hella. It does not say Hella, it says Hella. Oh, okay, ignore this. I've been getting eaten alive by mosquitoes, so I'm either like severely sunburned, which could be it, or I've been itching, which is probably more likely. So anyways, Hella is widowed, and she moved in with her deceased father's, basically like his brother, so like, or no, sorry, his uncle, so, or great uncle maybe. And anyways, so she moved in with him, and his name is Silas, and Silas dies, so her aunt wants her to get married to her cousin, well, her cousin-in-law, I guess, because basically Silas left everything to her. Oops. Silas left everything to her, and so they are finding a way to try to get all of the money from Hella so that they can hopefully like kill her off, I'm guessing, so that they can get all of the money, and so that the cousin can get a younger wife to give him heirs, essentially. So one night when she's locked in her room, she decides that she is going to try to herself with a sword that's hanging on the wall, and when she unsheaths it, there is an ancient warrior that pops out of the sword. And that first meeting was so funny. It was so funny. I have read one of T. Kingfisher's books before, and I wasn't like necessarily a huge fan of it, but I am really liking this one so far. I'm like 7% in. I'm not that far in, but I am really liking it so far, so we'll see how far I get into that book. And then also reading To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandria Christo, and so far this book follows Lyra, and she is a siren princess, and to stay alive and get power, basically the sirens have to kill humans and steal their hearts from them. So she decides to take her cousin out, even though it is technically against the rules to get a human heart for the goddess of the water, I think, or their goddess, the water, before your birthday. She takes her cousin out to get her first royal heart, and she kills a prince, and that is all I've made it up to so far. However, I think this is probably when the main conflict is going to come, because she, I believe, gets turned into a human and loses her voice. So it's kind of like a Little Mermaid retelling, and I have annotated so much through this book already, and I'm only 11 pages in, so I'll kind of show you also how freaking perfect is this bookmark. I love it so much. So yeah, there's that. And then I also started Half a Soul. I'm on chapter 5. I do think I'm going to be able to finish that relatively soon. I'm going to maybe try to finish it like tomorrow, possibly. But really liking that one. So essentially that one follows our main character. I don't remember her name, I'm sorry, but basically one day she pisses off the wrong person, and he is a soul collector, and he decides that he is going to steal her soul. However, he only gets halfway done with stealing it when her cousin comes and basically stabs him in the leg, and so he stops and runs away. And that's kind of like not all I know so far, but I'm getting into the really interesting parts right now, and I really like it, so I'm really happy to be reading that. Oh, also sorry if the footage is a little grainy or anything. I'm on my phone because I was not planning on vlogging, like I said, but yeah, I'm reading some really good books right now. Hopefully I can continue on and finish with some of them at least, because I'm currently reading like 16 books and none of them are the ones I started this week because I was unprepared to download stuff and bring stuff. So we're going to continue on with that. I also, if I feel so inclined, I brought the Atlas 6 to finish reading or listening to, depending on what I feel like. So we'll see about that. I'm kind of going to make a goal that if I don't finish it by the end of the month, that I'm probably just going to DNF it and unhaul it. I have liked it so far, however, it hasn't been my favorite, so yeah. Also, I'm in here because it was raining earlier, but it seems to look a lot nicer. But all my family is hiding somewhere, so I'll have to walk around and go find them. But yeah, I'm going to continue on with the 3 books. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a weekly reading vlog, but we'll see. So anyways, I will talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Rose, you're gonna take your car out.
Yeah. I'm 2 hours away from finishing Half a Soul, and I am really liking it so far. I feel like this book, however, is not like a passive read. Like, you know those books that you kind of like have to read all in one go to get? I feel like that may be this, and there's not like necessarily a super strong plot, so it's kind of like more like Addie LaRue in that sense. Like, there's not a super heavy plot, but I really like it so far, so I'm excited to continue on with that. And then as far as To Kill a Kingdom goes, I'm also really enjoying this. I am on page 20 right now, and I'm having a lot of fun reading this. Yeah, like I said, it's a really fun read. I'm having so much fun annotating it. I did find like a highlighter and a blue pen, so I'll have to show you some of my annotations, but I've been having a blast annotating this. Steven is up at the fire right now, so I think I am just gonna let him chill out there. Well, obviously I'm gonna let him chill out there because he's there and I'm in here, but I am going to read a chapter of this and then a chapter of Half a Soul and go back and forth until he comes back in, I'm assuming, or until I fall asleep, I guess. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and yeah, it has been such a fun day today. Yeah, had a lot of fun. There was a lot of really good food today, so that's always fun. But anyways, I probably won't talk to you guys again tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow, so I will talk to you guys later. I have a couple reading updates. First and foremost, I did not end up getting too much further into Kill a Kingdom. I only read 2 chapters, I believe. I think I'm on chapter 5. I really wanted to get back to Lyra's perspective, because don't get me wrong, I like the prince's perspective. However, I would just much rather have Lyra's perspective right now. Like, something really interesting just happened in the book, and then the author switched it over to the prince's perspective, which is fine. I think she's doing like every 2 chapters, so like 1 and 2 were Lyra's, 3 and 4 were the prince's and stuff. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm not even gonna try, but I'm really liking that, obviously. And then I finished a book yesterday, so I stayed up until, or I guess this morning, stayed up until 1 in the morning reading and finishing up Half a Soul, and I really enjoyed it. I am like literally in between a 4 and a 5 star, because I honestly, like, I cried a little bit after I finished it. Like, I was like, that book was so perfect and I loved it so much. But when I last talked to you guys, it was like sitting at a 3 stars, so I don't really want to, like, I'm not gonna rate it 5 stars, I don't think, but if 4.5 doesn't seem enough, and at the point where I rate it 4.75 stars, I might as well round it up to 5 on Goodreads. So in other news, I also decided to continue on with How to Lose a Time War. I don't know how I feel about that one yet. However, it's a really short audiobook and I was already reading it, so I figured I would try to finish that. And then I'm gonna try to maybe find something else to read, but I'm not really sure what yet. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go brush my hair because I just got out of the shower, and then I'm gonna go sit by the campfire, I think. So I'll talk to you guys in just a little bit with some more updates. Hi besties, what's up? So it is quite literally like the next week, and I am so sorry for this. It was not my intention to drag this vlog on forever. However, I'm going to be vlogging the rest of the week, so you will have just seen some of my camping footage. I apologize for the quality. Let's just do a little bit of a wrap up of the things that I finished and got most of the way through while I was camping, because I have some thoughts on all of them, and I think I have more concise thoughts than when I was speaking about them while I was in the trailer. Plus, I think after sitting on them for a little bit, I have more articulate thoughts as well, and I can actually like go over the books and talk about them. I won't be talking about, what's it called? The Siren book that I was reading earlier, To Kill a Kingdom. I won't be talking about that right now. I have not continued on with that, and I honestly didn't make that much progress in that book as of yet, so we're just gonna hold off on talking about that book for a little bit. I don't know if that's one that I'm gonna be in the mood to read this week, but I guess we'll see. So let's talk about the 3 books that I kind of like listened to and read while I was camping. First, I think I'm going to choose the one that I have like the most articulate thoughts on, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. So if you don't know, this book follows our main characters, Archer and Bree, and Bree has recently moved to this town because of something that happened to her in her past, and she's basically trying to get away from it, and she ends up meeting Archer, and Archer is mute because of something that happened to him in his childhood. And it is about her breaking down his walls and them becoming closer, and them like basically finding like a mutual ground and a mutual understanding of each other. And this book, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I do not know why I'm gonna start crying talking about this book, because I didn't even cry while I was reading it, but like, I love Bree's character, and I really ended up growing attached to Archer's character as well. I decided on rating this book 4 stars. I did really like it. It just did not give me that 5-star feeling, and honestly, I did not know what to expect going into this book, but I really did end up thoroughly enjoying it, and I love Bree and Archer together. I think they are like the epitome of grumpy sunshine, and like Bree is just so cute and fun, and I really love her. I will say towards the end, some abrupt things kind of happened, and I understand why they happened. Obviously, there's explanation at the end of the book, but it was just like one thing after another that was kind of shocking me. And yeah, this book was very, very hard to read, but I did really thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'm very happy that I read it. And yeah, like I said, 4 stars for this one. Next, let's talk about Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. So I believe I ended up rating this one 4 stars as well. If you don't know, this book follows our main character, Dora. And one day when Dora was little, she ran into someone who collects souls. Luckily, they were only able to manage to get half of her soul before her cousin saved her with a pair of sewing scissors. And so it's about her life and how she doesn't feel like normal people do. She doesn't have the same emotions that other people do. And it really causes a disconnect, not only for her and other people, but it especially makes people give her the sideways glance. And one day she finds out about this magician named Silas, and originally she goes to see if he can retrieve the other half of her soul that's missing, and she ends up finding out that there is something much bigger at play that no one is really talking about, and she ends up deciding to help Silas with this instead of her own thing that she's worried about, like getting her other half of the soul. And the reason she doesn't necessarily want to do this, but her aunt is a jerk, to be quite frank, and it's basically forcing her to do this. And her cousin also thinks that it will help her be able to just relate more to everybody around. I will say I do think that this book could have a higher rating. I just think that maybe, like the next book I'm going to talk about, I read it a little bit too fast. And I will say a big downfall of this book, I feel like, is how short it is. Alright, I don't exactly know how to explain this, but it's like its biggest downfall and its biggest like bonus almost. I like how short it is. However, I do think that we could have had at least 20 to 40 more pages, maybe even 100 more pages. Honestly, I would have, like, it would have done really well if it had an extra 100 pages, like just bringing it up to at least the 350 page mark, if not the 400 page mark. I think that a lot more would have, like, a lot more enjoyment would have been had out of this book. But I do really enjoy it, and I do eventually want to do an immersion read where I listen to the audiobook and read the physical copy and annotate it, and I think that'd be great. And I do think I would have a much greater appreciation and liking of this book if I did. Last, let's talk about This Is How You Lose a Time War by Emil L. Motar. Or it's by Max Gladstone as well. So I'm not going to give this book a rating. So first of all, this book is hella confusing. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. This book was confusing, mad confusing, but I'm going to immersion read this. And I do listen to my audiobooks really fast because most of the time I can do that. It seems like recently my brain has been a little bit mushy, so I need to stop listening to them as fast as I am because I don't think I'm getting all the intended messages and stuff. But this basically follows Red and Blue, I believe are their names, and they are from opposing agencies of this time war of sorts. And you find out that at first this book starts out with them leaving taunting, threatening like letters to each other, and over the course of this book it's them falling in love. When I tell you this book was literally like a mind trip, I don't even know. Like, after I read this, like, I loved the ending. I really did. I was like, oh my gosh, what a phenomenal, like, what a phenomenal, thoughtful ending. I really liked the ending, but like getting there, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know if it was the plot that was confusing, but I did really end up liking these characters. So I'm excited to reread it. I'm gonna do like an immersion thing with Half a Soul eventually. Probably not anytime soon, I don't think, but maybe. I mean, I do think I could reread this. It's literally less than 200 pages, so I do think if I did that, hopefully I'd get more out of it the second time. But I definitely think this is one of those books that, if you can, I would probably read the physical copy or do both. But for me, listening to the audiobook just did not do enough for me. So, like I said, not a star rating because I don't think that my star rating that I would give it is actually not only what it deserves, but what I would inevitably give it if I gave it another shot. So I'm gonna leave this as no rating for now, but I am excited to get back to that book eventually. And last, but not least, another one that I got pretty far of the way through is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I am 176 pages in, so chapter 20. And if you don't know, this book follows our main character, Signa, and Signa has been followed by death seemingly everywhere she goes since she was young. And she honestly has no idea why she's been cursed to this fate. And at the beginning of the book, she learns that if she eats belladonna berries, basically they won't kill her. However, they will take her to like another dimension of sorts, and she will be able to talk to Death himself. And she finds out through that she is basically untouchable by Death, which is why everybody around her dies, because he wants to eventually get to claim her. And she also finds out that she can actually like people in Death's presence. So yeah, this book is very interesting. It's also like a murder mystery too, which I was not expecting, but I am really liking this. I'm really enjoying this so far. I do kind of want to finish this week. This is another book that I feel like I might be reading slightly too fast, so I'm going to slow down the pace a little bit. I will be getting a lot of reading time in at the end of next month, because if you guys didn't see my last vlog, basically I will be moving at the end of next month, which is equally parts really sad and really happy. Basically we'll be moving back to our hometown, me and Steven, which is going to be really nice. Like, we'll be able to see our families more, and you know, even though we're only an hour away, and it's not technically that far away, we still don't get to see them as much as we'd like to. However, literally it will be better for everybody involved, but I feel like I'm honestly the one losing the most, because I'm going to be leaving my job, which sucks. I really love my coworkers, and I've already cried about this at work, so I really don't need to rehash this, but I really love my job, and I love my coworkers. Yeah, I'm sorry for this long update, but yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks, and it's been a lot to process, but ultimately, oh, he's leaving. Ultimately, I'm very hopeful about this new chapter in my life. So anyways, enough rambling. Thank you guys for listening, if you're still here. But yeah, Diablo doesn't like it though, because I started packing my books, and he walked in there, saw all the boxes of books, and was like, "Mom, what the hell is this?" Like, I'm sure he wanted to say that, but he definitely meowed a lot. So anyways, yeah, I better get going. I think my camera's gonna overheat, so yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit with some more reading updates that are hopefully not me crying, because yeah, it's just a lot of emotions. That's just a lot of emotions, huh? Anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Hi besties. It's been a while. So yeah, it's been I think it's been a week since I last filmed, so good for me. Luckily I did have a vlog that I had in my archives that I could post, but I'm so sorry that I feel like I've been slacking a lot. A lot of big changes are happening in my life right now, and I'm not gonna cry because I literally I love my makeup right now. I'm obsessed with it. If you're interested, shameless plug, I mean, I have a couple TikTok pages and I'll link them down below if you're interested. I have a makeup one and a Booktok one. I'm planning on getting more into Booktok as soon as I move again, because I should have more days off because I only want to work 30 hours when I move, so that's gonna be 10 extra hours, hopefully. But a lot of things are changing in the next month, and in the next month and a half, more and it has put me into a slow mental spiral, and I've just kind of realized today that's what's happening, because I've been kind of in a rough mood recently. Yeah, it's been a rough one. Basically, essentially, if you guys are interested, I hope my husband doesn't mind me sharing this, but he doesn't meet some of the requirements to apply to nursing school, which was what he was planning on doing, which is why we've lived in a college town for the past 2 years. And basically, now that he's not a student anymore, our rent will go up essentially $500 a month, because the people that do the renting out of this apartment complex, he raised the price if you aren't a student, which is freaking stupid. But first of all, we can't really justify staying here for, I'm just gonna be honest, it's gonna be $1,600 a month, and that's a lot of money, and we don't have that kind of money anymore. We have exhausted all of our money at this point, which is fine. It's fine, it's not a big deal. We get paid in a couple days, which is gonna be good. Gosh, I hope it's gonna be good, because we're gonna start saving money for when we move. So a little bit of background: we're moving back to mine and my husband's hometown, and we're gonna be about 10 minutes away from each of our families, which is gonna be so nice, because there's a lot of guilt due to the fact, I'm so sorry if you can hear that beeping, someone must be moving, but anyways, there's a lot of guilt because we live an hour away from our family, and I know that's not a lot, but gas prices the way they are, it's hard to justify driving back and forth every weekend. And so it's gonna be nice to not only be able to see them whenever we want, but not to have to worry about whose house we're staying at, because that's a lot of stress on my end for no reason. Obviously, I'm sure our parents really don't care, and they get that it's hard to figure it out, and we usually go every other time, but we have been really running amok with that. It's been so hard to keep track. So it's gonna be nice to move back there and be closer to our families. But with that being said, I'm leaving my job, and I don't want to, and I don't want to talk to my boss next week and tell him that I'm leaving in a month, and I don't want to, because I love my job. And this job has really screwed me over in a couple different ways, because first of all, I work in a pharmacy, and my previous job that I had, let's just say that a lot of the patients were really rude to me, and really rude to everybody who worked there. It wasn't just me, and I would never claim that it's just me, but I said to myself, there's no way in hell that I'm staying in a pharmacy for the rest of my life. Why would I do that to myself? My previous job wrecked my mental health on a whole nother level. And it wasn't just the customers or anything, but there was some drama behind the scenes with all of us, which, it's just a thing. We're all human, we all make mistakes, we all piss each other off, but it's really shitty when you work hard to get to where you are, and then no one treats you with respect until they find out that I went to technician school, which is really stupid because where I live, it's not technically required to go to school for it. You just have to be licensed. I have been fully certified for about a year now, so it's not that big of a deal anymore, but like, this person treated me like shit, and like, I'm gonna be quite frank, like, I loved this person as a person, just not as a coworker, and that's fine. I think we can all agree that people can be good people, but just not good coworkers, and that's fine. And like, you're talking about a 19-year-old kid who, look, I didn't know anything. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was there from, let's see, or maybe I was 20. No, I think I started there when I was 20 or 19. Sorry, I don't know. But I was there for about 2 years, and I got fired because I had a mental health crisis. Almost, basically, let's say if I went through with what I was going to go through, I wouldn't be here right now. And I turned around, came home, went to the doctor. My mom drove down to come to the doctor with me because Steven had to go to school. He did offer to go to the doctor with me, and I said, honey, yeah, you need to go to school. That is top priority right now. Like, I will be okay. My mom is here. She'll take care of me. So, yeah. All that to say, I got put on antidepressants, and I've been doing great. And then I had a 3-day migraine, and at the point where I got my first warning, my hours got split in half. So that really freaking sucked, I'm not gonna lie. And then I had a 3-day migraine, and I had to call in sick. And this company basically keeps track of absences for a 6-month time period, and then they drop off. Well, essentially, this migraine that I obviously have no choice in the matter of if I have it or not, costed me my job. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think part of the reason that they did end up firing me is because they were looking to cut people anyways, and I was just the unfortunate victim of that because of my migraines and my major depressive episode. And it makes me kind of sad, but it's life. So I got this new job, and this new job has not only made me love working in a pharmacy again, but it has made me want to go back and be a pharmacist, go back to school. So now that Steven's career path isn't necessarily working how we thought it would work, this is my time to go back to school and hopefully see if it works out for me. If it doesn't, that's fine too. But I think I'm in a much better headspace to go back to school and to do good. But I don't want to leave my job. That is literally the only reason I don't want to leave. Besides, like, my friends, obviously. And I mean, work and my friends go hand in hand because I work with almost all my friends that live where I live. So it just sucks. I won't get to see my friends every day. I won't get to be at the place that I love to work. I'm hoping that the first place I worked, the first pharmacy I worked at, is still hiring when I move down there. At this point, they are hiring for a part-time technician, and that's what I want to do. But we'll see. I think I'm gonna get a huge pay cut again, which would freaking suck balls. But you know what? That's okay. That's life. Hopefully, if Steven gets the job that he's applying for, that should more than make up what I'm not gonna make. But I guess we'll see. But yeah. All that is to say that I have been spiraling, and I have been talking to my husband about it, so don't worry about me. Like, I'm completely fine and I'm safe, and that's all that matters. But it's been really hard to do anything that I love, honestly, like, which sucks. It sucks that I literally, like, I'm so excited to move and be closer to family, but I'm gonna miss my friends and my job so much, and I never thought I'd cry about, like, having to leave a job. But here we are. So I'm really sad, but I know this is gonna be good for us, and we're gonna be by family, and it's gonna be good for us. Just sucks for me, kind of. And you know, Steven has told me, my husband, that you know, this is the happiest he's ever seen me, and he doesn't want to move because of that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't want to either, but we got to do what we got to do. And renting from my parents won't be nearly as expensive as renting this place. We're gonna make a huge, like, space cut, which kind of sucks, but honestly, we don't use most of our house anyways, so or apartment. I mean, we don't use most of it anyway, so it'll be fine. But yeah, it's just been one thing after another. I feel like when it rains, it pours. That's how I feel right now, which is fine. But I've been laying in bed for the past 2 days, and I got up, I put makeup on, I showered. I feel better. I'm just tired now, so, but I'm always tired. It's not that big of a deal, but guys, it's rough out here. So, all that to say, I have not read anything of Belladonna, which is fine. Honestly, my mental health takes priority over my hobbies and over what I feel like I should be doing. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch a couple episodes of Heartstopper and finish editing my mid-year freakout tag. It's going up a little bit late, but holy hell, you guys, it was a feature-length film. It was literally over an hour of raw footage, and I think we're at 45 minutes now, and I think I'm 30 minutes into editing it, so I hope that I can maybe get it down to like at least 5 minutes less, because it's gonna be like vlog length, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, watch some of Heartstopper, clear off this SD card because apparently it's full, and then I'm gonna keep watching Heartstopper and try to finish Belladonna. I'm gonna read it slowly because I feel like with all this change, I haven't been able to process things the way I usually do. Usually I can listen to books at 3.5 speed and get everything down pat the first time, but I cannot focus on any books to save my life right now. Like, I can barely even tell you what I've read of this book so far, so we're gonna do our best, and yeah, I will talk to you guys with an update as soon as I can, because I'm out of storage.
When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're